I want to talk to you about business lines of credit for fair credit from alternative lenders. The thing is, if you have fair credit, sometimes to get a business line of credit from a traditional bank or I would say credit union, it's kind of complicated. So, into this conversation, we wanted to share with you some alternative lenders that actually will lend you some cash, even if you have fair credit. So, we're talking about a credit score that starts at around 600, a FICO score around 600. So here's a list I want you to really pay attention to. The first alt lender who will lend to you with fair credit is Biz to Credit. We love Biz to Credit a lot. Why? Because basically here is a lender who actually will extend to you fast business cash. I mean, they have a fast business funding solutions. So you're talking about fast approval. Within 24, 48 hours, they will extend you the cash if you have a FICO score that actually averages 600. And we love the fact that they are actually will look at your revenue. So they are based to credit. It's kind of known for a revenue-based financing, and they have an easy online application. In terms of the amount that they actually will qualify you for, up to $2 million. Okay, and they want you to be in business for at least 12 months. So if you have fair credit, as long as you have a 12 months minimum operational longevity, you are good to go. Okay, and so basically they want you to really actually generate every month at least $10,000 in revenue. So operational longevity 12 months, and average revenue per month $10,000. Okay, so that's the first one. The second alt lender I want to share with you for a business line of credit, fair credit, is OnDeck. OnDeck has been around for a while now, and we love the fact that OnDeck is really flexible, and so really you get funding within 2 days, and they have a flexible repayment options. So in terms of funding amount, we are speaking about $5,000 to $250,000. So $250,000, that's the maximum, and they want you to be in business for at least 1 year to actually qualify for their funding process. And monthly revenue $8,000 minimum, and a FICO score 600, 625. So that's really something to think about. Next, I want to talk to you about Lendio. So Lendio is actually great for a business line of credit, fair credit, alternative lenders, and we love the fact that they are very flexible too. But when you think about Lendio, I want you to think about it in a one-stop shop for business financing. So you have funding in as little as 24 hours. And so that's really good. And we love the fact that Lendio is really generous too. I mean, Lendio is not a direct lender. They are a platform. And so think of them as a marketplace for lenders. Okay. So funding amount the amounts go from $5,000 all the way to $2 million. Time in business 1 year. And monthly revenue minimum $12,000. And in terms of minimum credit score, Lendio will qualify if you have a FICO score minimum of 580. Then you have American Express business line of credit. Now, of course, American Express is not a direct lender, so that's why we categorize them in alt lender alt lender category. I mean, we categorize them in the alt lender sort of corner. And so American Express is really good. The only thing is American Express wants you to have an existing relationship with them. So they will qualify you with a minimum FICO score of 600 all the way to 660. But you got to have an existing relationship with American Express, either as a credit card holder or as a banking client. Okay, so you got to have a business banking relationship with them. And so we love the fact that American Express has a flexible repayment terms, and there are no prepayment penalties really. So in terms of the details about American Express, you're looking at $2,000 to $250,000, and time in business. American Express wants you to have at least 12 months under your belt, and the average monthly revenue. American Express is really flexible because they could qualify you if you are making minimum $3,000. Okay, so if you're looking for a business line of credit, fair credit from an alternative lender, American Express is a great institution to look up to. As a matter of fact, this institution is very prestigious because you could also extend your relationship from a business line of credit to actually go into a business credit card. So you can have a business credit card with them. So that's really cool. Next, I want to talk to you about Lending Tree. So when we talk about business line of credit, fair credit from alternative lenders, Lending Tree is another great candidate. Now, Lending Tree is not a direct lender. They are kind of similar to Lendio. In other words, they will actually direct you to third-party lenders, but they're really good at what they do. So it's a business loan marketplace. So you have a wide range of loan options. So we love that a lot. And what we love about the Lending Tree is that they've been around forever. Okay, and so you have an easy application process. That's really good because then you have flexibility. That's really important. And we're talking about you getting a business line of credit, fair credit, from 5,000 all the way to 1 million. And for Lending Tree, they want you to be in business for 1 year minimum and to actually generate the minimum revenue of $8,000. And in terms of minimum credit score, Lending Tree is even more flexible because if you have a bad credit, they will also qualify you. So this is kind of cool. So minimum credit score here, 500. Next, you have a Lenzy. So when we think about business lines of credit, fair credit from alternative lenders, we love Lenzy a lot. Why? Because Lenzy is constantly trying to reinvent itself. So that's really cool in terms of the flexibility. We love that a lot. It's very, very good. And we love the fact that Lenzy actually gives you the possibilities for a lot of stuff to happen. And this is actually a top-rated platform, if you will, for established small businesses. And so you have funding in as little as 24 hours. And so you can basically apply online or in minutes. And so apply online in minutes, or you can choose your loan option. So in terms of flexibility, Lenzy is really there for you to kind of help you out. So we love that a lot. In terms of details about the Lenzy business line of credit, fair credit, you have up to $5 million. That's really good. You have you want to be in business for 12 months minimum to actually qualify for this Lenzy business line of credit, fair credit. And you also have to generate at least $12,000 in monthly revenue. So we are talking here about gross revenue, and minimum credit score goes from 600 all the way to 620. So 600 to 620. So when we talk about the business line of credit, fair credit from an alternative lender, you want to think about Revolut. So Revolut is actually a pretty good. We love their business model because you get a funding decision in as little as 1 hour, 60 minutes, and you are good to go. Okay, and so there's no annual fee. There are no draw fees. There is no application fee. So you have a revolving flex line similar to a line of credit. So they have a different sort of point of view here. They do not call their business model line of credit, but they call it flex line. But this is kind of similar. So in terms of details here, you are looking at $5,000 to $1 million. And Revolut wants you to be in business for 1 year. And but now their monthly revenue is a little higher. They want you to have a $20,000 minimum monthly revenue. And Revolut actually doesn't have a credit score minimum. So you qualify by default for a fair credit or a bad credit, not a problem. Okay, because Revolut actually looks at your operational profile before extending I would say an underwriting decision. Okay. You also have a SBG funding. So we love SBG funding because they are very generous. You are looking at the business financing up to $5 million, and you have decisions under 24 hours. So within a day, you will know, like, basically if SBG funding is going to qualify you or not. And we love the fact that they have a abysmally low rates. I mean, that's really good for if you're looking for a business line of credit, fair credit from an alternative lender. Having 1.75%, that's the minimum APR. That's just fantastic. Now, of course, it's 1.75% per month. So if you actually annualize that, you are somewhere around 20%, but still good anyway, because when we talk about business line of credit from an alternative lender, the APR is usually not really low. Okay, so you have a wide variety of loan types for small business owners, and that's really good. You have a straightforward application process, and we are speaking about they want you to be in business for at least 6 months and to make a monthly revenue at least of $20,000 to $29,000. Minimum credit score 600. I want to talk to you now about Fundera. So Fundera is another great player to really think about in terms of in terms of this business line of credit, fair credit from an alternative lender. And we love the fact that Fundera is really good because you have easy and fast business loan options. You can get pre-qualified as fast as 4 to 5 minutes, and so that's really good. So we're looking at with Fundera, you're looking at the $5,000 to $5 million. Fundera wants you to be in business for at least 1 year, to make at least every month $10,000, and minimum credit score 580. So you can see that 580 you qualify for. You qualify actually as you qualify for this product. So that's really good. Another business I want to talk to you now about is business loans. So this is actually a business line of credit, fair credit from an alternative lender. So let's talk about business loan here. Businessloan.com actually is kind of cool. It's kind of cool because you have tailored loans for your business needs. You actually get funding as fast as 24 hours, so same day. You have a wide range of loan options also because in terms of flexibility, you are well served. So that's really cool. So what we love about businessloans.com is that you have loans that go from, not loans, business lines of credit that go from $10,000 to $3 million, and time in business 1 year minimum, and a minimum monthly revenue. You are looking at $20,000. And in terms of credit score, you are looking at 640. So that's really good because 600 to 640. And what we have seen in our research is that businessloans.com is really fast too. I mean, they were really fast. They will have a contact. They will have a contact manager, if you will, like a relationship manager, get back to you the same day or within 2 to 3 hours, and they will talk to you about your business. They'll talk to you about your financials. They talk to you about your borrowing plans. So having this sort of guidance is kind of cool because it allows you to know exactly what's really happening, what's going to happen throughout the process. So we love that part a lot. So that's really fantastic. Let me give you the considerations here. When we talk about business lines of credit, fair credit from alternative lenders, it's important to really understand that your company actually has always options when it comes to business funding, right? You can choose business line of credit from alternative lenders or from traditional lenders such as banks and credit unions. The difference is the cost. So alt lenders tend to be more expensive in terms of their APR, but also ancillary fees as opposed to banks or credit unions. So you got to ask yourself, do you have the relationship? Do you have the existing relationship with your bank or credit union to actually get a business line of credit as with fair credit, right? Because otherwise you can't really qualify, because banks and credit unions actually they prioritize existing relationships, which is why we always actually advocate on this show to have what we call MPR, multi-product relationship. So you also have to really understand that you can choose a business loan versus a business line of credit. So when we talk about a business line of credit, fair credit from alternative lenders, you can say, you know what, I want to go for a business loan, fair credit from an alternative lender. Now, all those lenders that I just showed you, they also extend business loans. Okay, so that you probably will be lucky to actually have to actually get your cash from them. The cool thing about business loan versus business line of credit is that a business line of credit actually gives you a set amount of let's say a set amount of money to borrow against. You have flexibility to borrow as much as you need at any time, and monthly payments are calculated based on how much was borrowed in the first place. So that's really good. But one thing for sure, both loan types require good cash flow, a solid credit score in some cases, and also solid financial standing. So that's really an important element to think about. Now, once you do use a business line of credit, well, it really depends upon your cash flow needs, right? I mean, if you need cash flow, let's say you require a short-term boost in working capital, you are unable to meet a payroll deadline, inventory needs to be increased or replenished, you need to cover expenses associated with the hiring new employees, and marketing efforts needs to be increased in anticipation of a special event. So you have a constellation of possibilities that will really give rise to a business line of credit. Okay. Now, when we talk about applying for a business line of credit, you need to really understand that this business line of credit may be secured or unsecured. And the only thing is secured business line of credits need collateral to back them up. Unsecured lines are guaranteed by your business and require more trust on the part of the lender. Now, the 10 business lines of credit, fair credit from alternative lenders I just shared with you in today's conversation, they are unsecured. So they're not collateralized. You don't need to actually pledge anything at all to actually qualify for them. Let me give you the strategy before we close to this conversation. So, how do you actually choose the right provider for your business line of credit, especially coming from an alternative lender? So, one thing for sure, when we talk about an alt lender, you need to understand the cost element here, right? The cost element is it's always high. In other words, the APR is always high. You're not going to find an alt lender that's cheaper than, say, your bank or credit union. So, having pushed that aside, when you actually are thinking about choosing the right provider for your business line of credit, you want to think about your reputation. That's the first thing, right? Because the last thing you want is that you want to actually have a conversation with a lender who's not reputable, who doesn't have a lot of positive reviews online, and so on and so forth. So if you have so do some research, do some due diligence. You want to ask people around you. If somebody in your entourage has, let's say, borrowed from this lender in the first place, let them have let me give you let them give you first-hand feedback, right? You also want to think about the minimum credit requirements. I mean, today's conversation we focused on fair credit, so 600 give or take. So some lenders will even accept to have a lower FICO score, and some lenders will not. So you got to really make sure that you have a lender who is willing to transact with you on a lower FICO score. You also want to think about funding amounts limits. So if you're looking for a 50 grand, for example, or you're looking for $250,000, you want to make sure that the lender actually extending as much in business line of credit, right? You want to think about funding speed, APR, and fees. I mean, there could be some ancillary fees that come with a business line of credit, fair credit from an alt lender. So those fees can really eat into the cash, the final cash you have. So make sure that you have talked to the business line of credit and the business line of credit lender, and you qualify for the amount that they're actually giving you at the cost, right? Because the whole thing is you got to be really comfortable with the cost, because you're going to be the one paying the business line of credit. Whatever you tap into the business line of credit, you're going to have to actually repay it over time. And sometimes some lenders want you to make monthly payments, like so pay as you go. Some lenders want you to really pay every quarter, every 2 months, every 3 months, every 6 months, or every year. And some lenders will want you to really just to pay whatever you like, to pay interest only, and pay the business line of credit itself at the end of the term. So you have to make sure that you have a strategy that really works with you, and that you agree with the terms and conditions of the lender. So that's really an important element to think about. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I spoke to you about business lines of credit, fair credit from alternative lenders. And let me give you the list that you need to think about. So number 1, Biz to Credit. Number 2, On Deck. Number 3, Lendio. Number 4, American Express Business Line of Credit. Number 5, Lending Tree. Number 6, Lindsay. Number 7, Revenued. Number 8, SBG Funding. Number 9, Fundera. And number 10, BusinessLoans.com. And I give you the considerations and strategy, and now the bottom line. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.